Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this new segment that I'm going to be doing once a month called Coffee with Coach. And this is time for you guys to ask me questions as a certified run coach, and I will give you the best answers I have with the knowledge that I have acquired. So sit back, grab your favorite cup of coffee or beverage, and let's get to these questions and answers. Go.
You're here at 11, you're gonna be here like at 8.
Never! Question and answer period, I do want to say, before you start any fitness journey, any running journey, you need to talk to your doctor. You need to talk to your physician and anyone else in the medical profession that can help you out on this journey as well. I am a run coach, a certified Pilates and yoga instructor. However, I am not a therapist. I am not a doctor. The knowledge that I have gained and that I am giving to you is just that. It is from me to you. There are other coaches out there, other words of wisdom, and frankly, other opinions on all of this. Don't just check out me. Also go and take a moment, check out what other run coaches have to say. We all know and love Heather Jergensen over at Go Find Your Awesome. So you know what? Head over there, check out some of her videos. She is a wealth of knowledge and experience, and she also is an RRCA certified run coach, and so she's got some great advice over on her channel as well, or on her and Jen Sorensen's podcast, Go Find Your Awesome. So definitely check out other things. Knowledge is power. Check them out. All right, let's get started with these first questions. So these are the questions that you submitted over on my Instagram page. If you didn't get a chance to ask a question, please leave it in the comment section below and we'll get to the February segment and I'll answer those questions for you. With the first question, which is one of my favorites, it's called, what is the best way to increase speed and speed work after injury? I know this question well because I know who it came from. It came from my best friend, Annie, who has dealt with multiple injuries and she is on that upswing racing again. She just finished the 2019 New York City Marathon and she's on her way to the Brooklyn Half Marathon, and she has a goal in mind. She wants to beat her old Brooklyn Half Marathon time. So we're going to work together and help her with that goal. So she asked this question. It's a great question because her goal is to get faster in her Brooklyn Half Marathon time. And I want to start off by saying this. There's two parts to this question. There is the way to increase speed and speed work after injury. And then there is also increasing speed and speed work when you are in your best physical health. Both have similar answers, but you're going to come at it from two different bodies. So to Annie's question, the biggest word that you have to keep in mind is the word gradual. That's going to come into play in a lot of these questions. Gradually getting there, right? So instead of just going out, running as fast as you can for your 3-mile run and then completely boinking out, completely hating running, completely not achieving your goals, you want to go gradually. So in order to get faster, you do have to train faster sometimes, not all the time. That means including speed work, intervals, fartleks, all of those terms that you may have heard in your running journey. This is where you start to incorporate them when speed is a goal. But you want to incorporate them gradually. You want to increase speed gradually. And that is true whether you're coming back from injury or you are in your best physical health. Because increasing too fast, too soon, with too much of everything else is going to absolutely lead to possible injury. And maybe not just possible injury, but actual injury. Too much too soon equals injury. So always thinking in the mindset of gradual. I'm going to gradually increase my speed. That means maybe During your training cycle, you look for a Tuesday or a Thursday. People like to have track Tuesday. You go to a track or you go to an open road where you have that length to measure out some meters. Maybe it's a 100 meter, maybe it's 200 meters, maybe it's 400 meters. But you start to work on some of that speed in a place where there is no interruptions. And you always take those rests. It is so important, I believe, that you are constantly checking in with yourself. One, because you like to see where you were and where you got to, but also because by checking in on yourself, then you are able to understand and listen to your body and hear those first warning signs if you start to push yourself too hard. So always check in with yourself, increase that speed work gradually, slowly. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And then definitely start to build a strong base. The stronger your base, all of those things will kind of work out. So build your strong base, increase speed work slowly, gradually, and then you will start to see the fruits of your labor. Okay, next question. And how do you get past the intimidation of long runs? I love this question because wow, long runs can be very intimidating, especially if you are new to distance running. My best advice to you is to not look at the long run as the long run. So going out into your training day, let's say you have maybe your long run, your first very big long run is 10 miles, and all you see is 10 miles. Break that up. Take it into either 2 5-mile sections or break it up into 3-mile sections, with that last mile being your victory lap to the 10-mile. But because it can all seem so big, breaking it up into smaller sections and then having those victory moments within those smaller sections will help you to not feel so overwhelmed and intimidated by how long that mileage is. Long runs are a great time to listen to your favorite podcast. Might I suggest go find your awesome and joyful miles. But it's also, you can find other little fun things to do. So if I'm going for a big long run, I might take the first 5 miles and say, all right, in 5 miles, I'm gonna make it to the Statue of Liberty. I'm gonna take a selfie with the Statue of Liberty. I'm gonna eat my fuel at that point. And then the next 5 miles, I'm gonna get to another major landmark in my city and have a little fun, take another selfie. But you just gotta find ways to make it fun. And I think that is actually the whole point of running, is to find ways to make it fun and enjoyable and not feel so overwhelming. All right, next question. With Run, Walk, Run, do you start your intervals right at the beginning of a race? Yes, I begin my intervals immediately. I used to not do that, and I would always hit a wall halfway through the race. I'm going to race the way I trained. So, for instance, when I started running half marathons, I would run the first 6 miles and then use the run, walk, run afterwards, and would always bonk out. So Jeff Galloway really is who I had to listen to when he started saying, use the intervals at the beginning and save that energy for the end of the race so that you have all that energy to complete that last 10K of a marathon, which in my opinion is the hardest part of the race. That's me, but I really feel that. During the New York City Marathon, I decided to take his advice, and as hard as it was not to just want to run with the pack, I just want to run with the pack, I decided to be smart and stick with what I knew, and I did my intervals. And when I got to mile 20, yes, I still had a coming to Jesus moment, but I had so much energy, and my form was still upright, and I still felt great in my legs other than the natural aches and pains of a marathon. And I really do I really do attribute that to starting the race with the intervals the way that I had been training. So I do recommend that if you are using the run, walk, run method, that you take Jeff Galloway's advice and you start those intervals at the start. And I promise you, you will feel so good at the end. Well, as good as one can feel after 26.2 miles. Okay, this question is about a nasty strain and sprain on a trail run. How can I help to prevent this in the future? I can't take it. That's what she said at the end. So when it comes to injuries, of course, if it is a continuing chronic injury that just keeps reoccurring, what are you doing sitting there? Go talk to your doctor. Don't let injuries fester, because they will turn into bigger injuries, and then you might be out for an entire year. So the minute you feel like this is not normal in my body, go have it checked. But it is very, very easy to sprain your ankle, twist your ankle, fall in trail runs because you're working on a terrain that is uneven surfaces. Also, there's twigs, there's branches, there's rocks, there's all kinds of things that come into play during trail running. Your footing can be very off. So it is normal to hear from runners that have gotten these kind of injuries during a trail run. My best advice to you is to recover first and foremost. Don't get out there too quickly and try to run again on a strain or a sprain. Keep checking in with your doctor. But if you are someone who has had these kind of injuries in the past and you're just looking for a way to not, hopefully not get them again, is you need to do prehab. That means prehabbing your body so that you don't have to rehab your body, strengthening your ankles with ankle mobility exercises, keeping your body in a place where it can perform at its best possible ability. But ankle mobility exercises can be really, really, really effective in strengthening the ankles so that you just have stronger ankles and feet, and giving yourself prehab. Okay, I am going to take one more question so that this video doesn't run on forever and ever. And if I didn't get to your question, I will definitely add it to the February questions. Okay, this is thoughts on types of shoes, maximalists and minimalist shoes. So what that is this is going to be an opinion piece. I try not to be shoe loyal, meaning I'm not the type of person that I stick with the brand that I love the most. Find a shoe from a certain brand, you'll love it. Then all of a sudden the new model will come out and it'll just be slightly different from the old model. But that slight difference makes a world of difference to me. Why did you change what was so great? A lot of people love those zero drop minimalist shoes. I personally don't enjoy them, only because I have a lot of form issues that I have to work through, and I'm working to better my form each and every day. One of the biggest things I do is I am a heel striker, and I find that shoes that have zero drop tend to make me more of a heel striker. I do find that there are benefits to barefoot running and minimalist shoe running when you're training and you're doing strides on maybe a grassy field, an uneven natural surface, but I don't necessarily think that long distance running with minimalist shoes is always the most effective for keeping your body in its best running form. I think that there are enough opinions out there and enough lawsuits out there and enough articles that that have squelched that mindset of minimalist running shoes. But that's just me personally, and some people love them, and I see a lot of people in races using them, and so to each their own. But I myself personally, I need a drop in my shoe, and so I tend to like a good cushion and a good drop. So just my opinion, and yeah. All right, so that is where I'm going to leave it on this first segment of Coffee with Coach. Thank you so much for these questions, for getting my brain working, for having me jump back in to my training manual from my run coaching certification. I'm gonna leave links below to all the little things that we talked about, but the one thing I want you to take from this video today is too much, too soon can and will lead to injury. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave me your questions and your comments down below. I will see you back here on my channel soon. So until then.